What is happening, troops? How you doing? Welcome to twitch.tv/1030. I still say forward slash. Do excuse me if it gives away my age, but I still say forward slash. Welcome to my domain on the internet. Well, not the word domain as in like the technical definition. Like domain as in, because my domain is 1030.co.uk, but this is like, anyway, welcome to the stream. You're watching me here the now, so yeah, that's what's happening. I've been trying to stream to different places recently, right? Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and TikTok's a pain in the arse, man. It really is a pain in the arse. So they keep changing, they keep moving the goalposts. So do you know what I'm thinking about doing today? And this is what I'm footering with just now. I am going to stream from my phone, TikTok app on my phone, right? Just to see. So what I'm going to do, rather than, because usually what I'll do is I will push this video here through the airwaves in towards TikTok. But I think they punish you somehow for doing that because right? So what I'm going to do is set this phone up right next to this camera, right? And we will just see what sort of engagement and content happens. However, see, in the meantime, hello Candlelight, good to see you in the meantime, do you want to tell me your good news? See if you've got any good news, big or small. I would like to know what it is. I would really like to know what it is. So please stick it in chat. We need a bit of good news. Hello Skywatcher77, hello Glasweedian, hello Carivore, Frosty, how's it going? Hello Carivore again. Jaggy, what's happening? Big Scary Deer. We've got lots of representation on YouTube. Hello Leighton, Elora on YouTube, Mahoit on YouTube, and then somebody called Alex Biggin on YouTube yesterday subscribed to me, and I'm like, nah. Like a YouTube subscription is just a follow, isn't it? I think. There was supposed to be a bit more bubbles than that. That bubble representation wasn't very good. However, Tommy Bobbins, thank you very much for subbing, Tommy Bobbins. Welcome in. Sorry you didn't get a lot of bubbles there. Do you want another wee bubble blast? I'll give you another wee bubble blast, Tommy Bobbins. Basically, I forgot to prime the tubes when I started my stream. So, Tommy Bobbins, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome in. Welcome in. Tommy Bobbins, this is your actual bubble blast. Look at that. Okie dokie, so what I'm going to try and do, I'll show you a wee bit of behind the scenes setup here, right? This is me mounting my phone onto the rig that my camera's on, right? So if I mount this here, like so, right? And then I move this phone up. Imagine I just moved it like right there. You saw it all this time. But I'm going to move it just out of shot. I'm going to move it here, right? And then I'm going to fasten this. I think I'm fastening it the other way. I think I'm loosening it. Right, okay. So I think that's that fastened. Right? So I think this might be a good way of doing it. So now I'm going to hit go live. And that's me, I think, circumvented TikTok sort of stuff. So I think I'm live, except I can't see myself. It's not showing me. And I think I really should see the output. So I'm going to end the live, right? End now. You did a good job. No, I didn't. I was live for 22 seconds. So now I'm going to like hide all my apps. This is exciting, isn't it? Young Southie, how you doing? Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Welcome in. What's happening? If you're just joining us, I am an old man trying to use TikTok for the first time. Right, so let's go to... So if I go to post... Stop emailing me, SNP. Aye, so we've got a scenario where it just isn't looking... That's supposed to be a camera, isn't it? And the camera's not working. Why is it so hard to do TikTok, man? Like, that's supposed to be my camera, and it's just showing up as black. So, simply what I'm going to do, it's honestly hard doing this for a living. It's so difficult doing this for a living. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't imagine how difficult it is doing this for a living. Anyway, so what I'm simply going to do is close all my applications, like restart my phone. No, Siri, restart my phone, right? Then I'll go back in, then we'll try it. But in the meantime, can I just say thank you very much to Young Southie, to Tommy Bobbins, and to Alex Biggin. And welcome in, everybody. Pedropolis, the monitor is on. It just has got black. So if you want to see something happening on the monitor, you need to sub or tip or follow or raid on Twitch. I'm going to get YouTube integrations happening here at some point, but I haven't done it yet. Hello Thomas Greggs, how you doing? Wonderful to see you in. I say symbol, like Prince, twitch.tv, symbol. Lots of people on YouTube today. So hello YouTube folk. I wonder, because I've usually never get anybody on YouTube. Pedropolis, how you doing? Thank you very much for subbing, Pedropolis. No, that's upstairs down for the bits. Upstairs down, thank you very much for 100 bits. Jesus Christ. 100 bits! Thank you very much for doing that. And then there's a queue system. So I've just sort of spoiled the next person in the queue. It's Pedropolis, who's coming up in a wee sec. Does anybody sort of feel shortchanged that the bubbles now come down for the sky rather than blast me straight into the face? Pedropolis, what's even happening? Hold on, we've got... Aye, there we go, that's that better. We had wrong colours, we had bad colours, we've now got correct colours. That's a cool photo, isn't it? A Glasgow craw, maybe? Pedropolis, thank you very much for subbing. Upstairs down, thanks for the bits. Young Southie and Tommy Bobbins. Listen, everybody. At the start of the stream, I like to share good news. If you've got any good news, big or small, I would like to know what it is. Slimy Flea, thanks for subbing, welcome in, what's happening? I'm really in need of any good news. If your name's 1030, let me hear you say way-ho. Way-ho. Big Scary Deer, how you doing? Welcome in. Don't mind me carry on, so it's been worried since yesterday. Aye, right, so here's the deal. My dogs know well now. My dogs know very well. I'll tell you everything that I know, but we won't really find out till Monday. But it's not looking good, man. It's not looking very good. I think bubble juice has just dripped into my coffee. Fuck. Not having a good time, mate. This weather. I'm going to drink it anyway, because I've just made some coffee. Not looking good for our Fred. What is cool, though, is he doesn't know he's not well. So he's still, like, bouncing about and being a daft Doug, doing all the Fred stuff. If anything, he's a bit cuddlier than usual, which is cool, because he's rarely cuddly. But anyway, I'll tell you all about that in a wee sec. But it's no great. It's no good news. We are talking, though, in this part of the stream about any good news. So if you've got any good news, big or small, please feel free to stick it in chat. Anyway, hello Candlelight, how you doing? Mahoit says, have you ever seen an old man eating a Twix? Is that Ricky Gervais? I know that patter. Who said that patter? Have you ever seen an old man eating a Twix? Carol Pilkington. That's Carol Pilkington patter, isn't it? I know somebody that's pure knows him. Zafra Cakes was in his thing. Hello Play Bussy, how you doing? Big up Scotland, 100%. Upstairs downstairs afternoon, all 5 meetings back to back. That's brutal, man. Yo Don Coke, how you doing? Geez, good news, you lucky bastards. I need to feel on someone else's positivity. Yes, I would like to vicariously celebrate any good news that you've got. Also, your good news usually gets me talking about something else. You know what I mean? Please don't think that I'm being rude. I'm just trying once again to get TikTok working on my phone. My phone's not even finding the TikTok app. Hellish. Absolutely hellish. Right, hold on. There's now somebody at my front door. But my phone's not loading who it is at the front door. It just keeps telling me My dogs are now telling me there's somebody at the front door. It was a delivery. Right, so Rachel can get that. So let's close that. Let's then open TikTok. Once again, how difficult is it? It's not loading the TikTok app on my phone. Upstairs Down says, good news, my friend found out she's having a little boy. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's one of the best bits of news, is new life in the world, isn't it? Hello, Lewis. You open your eyes, Lewis. Shows your TikTok dances. I think that would be a good TikTok dance. Anyway, it is brutal being a streamer. It's not a 10:30 stream without technical difficulties. Okay, let's see if TikTok will now let me... Hey, my camera's working on TikTok now. Okie dokie. So now we're going to try and get this show on the road. Now we're going to try and get the show on the road. Right, I'm all shiny as well. Don't know if you can see that, but I put on moisturiser. Because I've developed a skin condition because of the bubble blasts. Seriously. Right, so let's put this into here. This is looking good. And then we will tilt it down. And we'll get some of the tellies in shot because people like them, right? But now I need to undo that. But Pepper, I'm already stressed out, Pepper. Stop your barking, thank you. And then just stop it. Grow up, Pepper. Get a wee dog. She's... Oh! Right, so let's put this here. Then if I sit here, go live. Press live. Aye, live got pressed. But now it's looking backwards. It's got the backwards camera. So if I hit flip, I was expecting it to flip upside down, but no, the word flip here just means use a different camera. But now there looks as if there's a filter on it. It looks really high contrast, so how do I just get rid of all filters? I don't think I can. Also, don't know if you've spotted this, but I got something in my eye this morning. So that's stinging. I'm not having a great day, be honest with you. Not having a great day. Okay, so... let's just keep the filter on. Let's just keep the filter on. I'm going to hit go live. And then we will see if TikTok works. Alright. Alright. So welcome in, folks. How's it going and how's it even going? Slimy Flea, Pedropolis, Upstairs Down, Young Southie, Tommy Bobbins and Alex Biggin, thank you very, very much for joining us. And, right, what's happening? I was just on your TikTok showing Fred to my girlfriend. Did you see the TikTok that I made of the wee dog, Pepper, winking at you? But how's it going, Thomas Greggs? It's been a while. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing fantastic. Chameleon says, good news. And listen, everybody, we are doing good news at the start of the stream. If you've got any good news, stick it in the chat. Chameleon says, good news, my flat is actually mostly clean for once. It doesn't sound like much, but it's a massive for me and feels like I've turned a bit of a corner. Amazing, Chameleon. I see being overwhelmed with your environment can have an effect. And then if you're in a certain mode, it seems very, very difficult to then get out of that. Do you know what I mean? Right, okay, so here's the trick on TikTok then. As it turns out, if you stream for your phone on TikTok, an incredible amount of engagement. But say if you just stream for OBS on TikTok, you don't get much. Look at all these cunts. Can I say cunts on TikTok? I don't think I can say cunts on TikTok. Hello everybody, how yous doing? So that's interesting. That's really something. So I've been streaming to TikTok via OBS for over a year, right? But then recently they've changed the rules so as that you can't play. You have to be playing games for 50% of the time if you're streaming on TikTok via OBS. Today is the first day that I've streamed for my phone. Aiden says, I had you followed already, you came right up. Amazing. So I think they're suppressing your reach unless you're using the phone app. That's good to know. That's good to know. Anyway, hello. So I'm streaming currently on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, 5 places. YouTube vertical, YouTube horizontal. Twitter? Did I say Twitter? Anyway, wherever you are, stay where you are, because it's against terms of service for me to ask you to all go over to Twitch. I can't do that, and I'm not asking you to go to Twitch because that is against the terms of service. Sorry to hear that, Thomas. Aye, so, right, everybody's sharing good news in the chat. I've got a wee bit of a downer bad news, right? A couple of days ago, we found Fred's lymph nodes kinda swollen up. Fred Macaulay, not the comedian. I've got a dog called Fred. He's a collie. Well, he's a half collie. Anyway, he's not doing very well, basically. He was off his food. So examined him round about here. One of his lymph nodes is swollen. And I was like, alright. And I couldn't get a vet appointment. And the next day, this one was kinda flamed up. So eventually we got to the vet yesterday. And she didn't tell us this is terrible news, but she was like, it really isn't very good news. So it's basically, I mean, we won't know till Monday. We won't know definitely till Monday, but there's been lots of biopsies and stuff done. So she was in about everything. Turns out his other lymph nodes, like up towards his back, are all going as well, which is bad news. So that means it's like something in the full body. You know what I mean? So that means it's not just like a tooth infection or something like that. That's his all his full business. And she's like, this, you know? So she's like, have you got insurance? And I'm like, aye. She's like, right, because this is going to be dear. And I'm like, right. So she's done a needle into the lymph nodes to extract some of the lymph business. Did that a couple of different places, got blood taken, and it was quite funny. So she tried to convince Fred to put up with all of this. He was a total champ, right? He did it really well, but it was awkward for all of us. It was difficult. So I was like on the ground, sort of had him in a comforting headlock, and I'm like, oh, everything's good, and he's just like, but he's doing his bit. And the funniest bit was she stuck a thermometer, the only place that you can get a good measurable reading for a dog, stuck a thermometer up his arse as I'm sort of holding him, and his expression when that happened was hilarious, man. He was just like, like if a dog could swear, it'd be like, whoa, usually buy me fucking dinner first, Jesus Christ. So that was quite funny, but overall it was really good. He was a good dog, and so we find out on Monday, but reading between the lines, vet's like that. So it could be lots of different things. It could be an infection that's somehow all over his body, so it could be like a blood infection thing. It could be leukemia, some other type of cancer, could be lots of different things. So we just don't know, man. So hopefully we'll find out on Monday. So all his blood has been taken away to Yorkshire, where they're going to look at it basically and tell us. So they were looking at, right, we've got a machine here that can look at his blood, but our machine is a bit more like a Ford Fiesta, whereas down in Yorkshire they've got a machine that's like a Lamborghini. And I'm like, I appreciate the metaphor here, but I don't understand cars. I didn't say that. I wonder if car people use dog blood analysis machines as their metaphors. If they're in the Lamborghini showroom, they're like, well, this one's a bit more like a Yorkshire dog blood analysis thing, but that shitter over there, talking about Ford Fiesta, it's a bit more like a local vet blood analysis thing. I don't think they do that. I think everybody there knows what's going down. Anyway, so we find out on Monday, so I'm trying not to worry or anything like that, but I'm not sleeping very well, because wee Fred Macaulay, you know what I mean? But the good news is, he doesn't know he's ill. He's still like bouncing about, and he was a wee bit off his food, So I've put his food down for the past couple of days, and usually he just scoffles it. He's like, but past couple of days he's just sort of staring at it for a bit. He's like that. So I don't know if it's sore going in. We've got Pipper, the other dog, kicking about as well, and she likes to steal people's food, and Fred will sometimes resource guard if she's about. So he's into his food enough to stop her from eating it. If she goes over, he's like, you fuck off, you go away, this is mine. But he's only eating half and then leaving it, so I'm having to sort of take it up, give it, a bit, and then put it back down. So I've actually got him onto Pepper's biscuits. So Fred's biscuits are like Big Bite, because he's a big dog, and Pepper's a wee tiny dog, so she's got like wee womany biscuits. And Uras, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you very much for subbing. Hey, is that you, Uras, on a bike? Thank you very much for subbing, Uras. Welcome in. What's even happening? So, it's not looking great. It's not looking great for our Freddy, but we'll find out properly on Monday. And that's, I suppose, everything that I know. Anyway, so that's my bad news, right? But at the start of the stream, what I like to do is share any good news. So if you've got any good news, please feel free to stick it in chat. Base Embrace says, good news. Kenzo, how's it going, Kenzo? Thanks very much for subbing. Hey, it's Kenzo. Kenzo, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome in, how you doing? TikTok really don't like people talking about a dying dog, as it turns out. There are lots of people viewing, there's now one person viewing, I think that's me. So listen, content creators, if you're looking to rise the ranks on TikTok, don't talk about misery or dead dogs. Kenzo, thanks very much for subbing. Yura, Slimy Fleet and Pedropolis, thanks very much for subbing. Aye, but overall, because Fred doesn't like rubbish wee environments or anything like that. Fred likes his own stuff and to be comfortable and everything. So the whole vibe of him going out and things, he did really well with it. In the past he hasn't done as well, but he did good. Base Embrace says, good news, and listen, let's keep the good news coming. Good news, just back from my first bike ride since 5 days of gastroenteritis. Jings. Sorry, you had 5 days of gastroenteritis. I'm not too sure what that is entirely, but it doesn't sound very good. I'm glad you're back on the bike. Ian McLeod says, I have a beautiful 3-month-old boy, Innes. We've had him off meds for hyperinsulinism for 2 weeks and everything's looking good. All the very best with that, Ian. That's class that is looking good. Jeez, oh. You're done. Coke is in with a bit of good news as well. Fingers crossed with Fred. I'm also feeling down because of my pet situation, so completely get it. All the best, Yoda. Wee pets, man. Chings. There's Zabalbus in. Hello, good news. A massive lorry just delivered 2 tons of floor tiles to the street outside my house and have a brilliant exercise opportunity of moving them into the house. That's one way of looking at it. What a wonderful exercise opportunity. No, that's cool, man. How you doing, Zabalbus? Moffley is in. Oh, even better good news. My only meeting this afternoon in 4 minutes time just got cancelled. Yes. Dynamite. Imagine an old man pressing go live. I know, Channel 13. Spogger says, good pet news. Cat that went to the vet last week's new diet has been a revelation. Losing weight and his shites are actually normal looking. Basically right away, like a switch being flipped class. So it was just the diet? Do you have to get special food, or, what was the sketch? Anyway. You can't say cunt in Canada? That's a wee shame. So I'm getting lots of attention on YouTube today, which is interesting. Hello, YouTube. I wonder if they've just decided to push my stream. I think TikTok also want you to edit videos using the TikTok app. Pretty sure I've heard people getting much more engagement doing that than importing a finished product. Ben's okay, and I've found that as well. Also, there is a feature on Twitch to when you've clipped something on Twitch, you can just press a button and it goes to TikTok. But apparently, according to some boffins that are across this, TikTok want you to make it on their thing. So like save it to your phone, then edit on the TikTok app and then boost it. And then it will get reach, whereas if you just do it via Twitch, it doesn't get reach or something. TikTok are weird, man. They keep... I mean, not weird, lovely. I love the platform TikTok. They listen to you, and they... Honestly, man, it's like, fucking hell. Listen to everything you're saying. I was talking about Chinese VPNs the other day, and it just... I've got banned for using OBS to stream to TikTok. Some's afoot. I love the platform TikTok. Wonderful government in China as well. Wonderful place. Peacock says pet's been unwell is the worst. I know. I'll maybe take you through and we can have a wee word with Fred in a wee minute. You can't tell he's unwell. He's still bouncing about and he's doing good. Visually doing good. On paper, no, doing very good at all. I appreciate the vet being up front with me though. Like, fair enough, there's no point in worrying and stuff. Lewis, how you doing, Lewis? Welcome in. Is that a Doug in space? Lewis, are you a Doug in space? Thank you very much for subbing. Welcome in. Big love to the dogs. Maximum respect to all the dogs, man. I love the dogs. I got on better with dogs than people. See, if I'm walking past somebody walking their dog outside, I'll smile at the dog. The person's not getting any eye contact, but I'll smile at the wee dog. Anyway. So, had Fred in a rest hold. I did have Fred in a rest hold, that's hard to say. So, listen, it's not as if we've been given he's got 5 days to live. It's nothing like that, right? But she's heavily implied, without really knowing what it is, that it is something bad. And who knows, man? Who knows? The word she did say is leukemia, which is never good. It's not a diagnosis, that's like speculation. Then I was sort of pushing her more towards, I'm autistic, right? So I prefer knowing the truth, or knowing the stats or the odds, rather than, oh, it'll all be okay, and then one day it isn't okay, and you're like, well, you should have, what? So I much prefer that sort of bedside manner. If ever I'm ill, right, any one of you are my legal guardians or whatever, mainly talking to Rolling Sausage here, let me know what's going on, right? See if I've only got a week to live and I'm in hospital or something like that, let me know. Don't hide facts from me, because that's no good for me. So the vet was quite good in all of those regards of just like being kinda matter of fact with it. But warning is, like, we don't know. That's why they've got big machines. So it looks like she's got a lot of blood, which is good because that gives the person in the lab more opportunities to see what's going on. Sorry Hunter, how you doing? Thank you very much for the subs. Send all the pet love, I appreciate it, thanks very much. Oh, wee cat. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And a dance, and a dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. So, it doesn't like it when I go over here, eh? Goes out of focus. Anyway, sorry Hunter, thanks very much. Thank you very, very much. Thomas Greggs, how you doing? Thank you very much. Fred, a jar of peanut butter on me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Thomas Greggs. I will do. In a wee bit, we'll get Freddie through and we can all talk to him. But you know something's happening because we're making a big deal out of him. Making a really big deal out of him. He's like that. Appreciating it. Allowing him up on the bed at times where he isn't really allowed up in the bed. So he's having a good time with it all, as much as it can be. There's definitely something, like last night he's sort of just panting. He's like, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, I know mate. So I'm trying to just like, he's typically not a comforting dog, Oh, sorry, he's not a cuddly dog, right? He's a working dog. He's like a big man's dog, right? He wants to be out in fields and stuff like that, with activities. He typically isn't cuddly, except for sometimes he likes a wee cuddle. But the past couple of days he's been up and he's been like, I'm not well. I'm not very well. Wee laddie. Thomas Greggs and Surrey Hunter and Lewis, Kenzo and Uras, thanks very, very much. So aye, that's what's happening. They look at you with such betrayal when the vet does that. Aye. So I had Fred in a headlock. Vet shoved a thermometer up his business and he was just like that. Whoa! What? He didn't like move or anything like that. He wasn't resisting. He was just like... His wee eyes popped 100%. Wee laddie, man. My cat, when he had the thermometer up the arse, was the calmest he was. Rest of the appointment, not happy. Thermometer popped in, calm as fuck. Well, that might be a life hack for how to calm a cat. Thank you, Beneath Headphones. How's it going? Yorkshire get the best dog blood, guys, I guess. Well, best dog blood machine, I think. So Fred's blood's going to Yorkshire. One of the things, though, was... So she extracted lots of samples, but then one of the samples, she's like, it's really thick. So apparently you need like a thin film so that there's only like one layer of information or something. They only want to see one layer of material, right? But if the blood's thick, it's harder to... or something like that. Sean Hancock, photo film, how you doing? All the very best to you and Fred. I know the heavy dog being unwell, feeling very well. Aye. There's a couple of folk in chat who I know in the past have either had bad dog luck or are currently going through bad dog luck stuff. It is what it is. It is what it is. When you get a dog though, right, you are just investing in future grief. Right, and everybody knows that when you get a dog. But wee Fred doesn't make it any easier. So I mean, I'm being quite morose about it. I'm being, I think that's the right word. I'm prepping for a worst case scenario, so that if it's better news, then that'll be fine. That's why. So like, it happened, and she's telling us this bad news, and I'm just like, all right, but it still didn't feel very real or whatever. So I tweeted it, and when I tweeted it, it felt real. I had to just... So I tweeted it for like my own sake. I was just like, guys, Fred's not doing very well. And as soon as I did that, it was like... So that's some sort of psychological thing on my end, you know? That I can't deal with emotions or whatever unless it's somehow turned into content. Who knows, man? Sheepboy says, good news, handing in my dissertation tomorrow. That's class. Sheepboy, what is your dissertation on, if you don't mind me asking? Spogger says, I mean, your stream has lasted longer than 6 seconds. All them TikToker lot have zoned out. There's 2 people watching on TikTok. How you doing? The view count on TikTok plummeted as soon as I mentioned the Chinese government VPN stuff. So... You know, it is what it is. Acuthermin Supremes has been working on a lighting project and just got a long loan of a Dremel. Having a blast with them. Dremels are cool, man. Hello, Rhinoceros, how you doing? I think I've caught you up on Freddy. I'll get to the bottom of the chat, and if anybody still doesn't know, Outlook's not looking good for Freddy, but we find out more on Monday. Aye, that's right. Fred still has his sense of humour, says Rolling Sausage. So we're in the vet, right? I say he's still feeling good, man. I think that's a delivery person. I'm looking for my phone. My phone's right here. So there was a wee bit of an argument in the vet when we were waiting. The vet like came in, carried this really heavy box and put it down in front of a delivery man. And she wasn't in a good mood, the vet. Delivery guy is like, that's a bit too big, actually. I don't know if I can take it. And she's like, huffing. It looks as if there's been like a long story before this chapter of the story, right? She wasn't pleased. He's like, is that the paperwork? Because there's like loose paper on top of the... And and I could put it... Oh, right, I'll put that in my pocket and I'll do... So, when the delivery guy said to the vet, I don't think I can take it, she pure... I can't remember what she said, but it was something like... Well, you said... It said on the thing, something like that, right? And Fred at that point, who's watching everything happening, clocked that there was an aggro, that it was actually a wee bit of aggro happening between them. So he sided on the delivery driver's guy. So when she made her comment, Fred was like, he was trying to get involved. And I'm like, Fred, don't get involved, man. Also, that woman, we're on her side, really. We need to be on her side. Because she's about to stick stuff up your arse. But it's quite funny. He's like, knowing that there's complicated conflict. And Fred doesn't like complicated conflict, so he was trying to diffuse it using his anger. It was quite funny. Thanks for all the messages on Fred, everybody. I'm talking about it publicly just so that I sort of accept what's happening. You know what I mean? Yoda says, I must say the raining bubbles are growing on me. Looks good. Thanks, Yoda. I'm going to retime the lights going off and stuff, and this thing coming on. It's not quite perfect, but it's necessary because my skin, honestly, see just this spot here was really, really bad, so I can't have bubble blasts to the face anymore. Part of this has been part of being an adult is making difficult decisions like that. Echo Thump says, just popped in. Don't know if good news is still going. Good news is always going, Echo Thump. But mine would be, I'm off work tomorrow for the weekend as Dekmantel Festival in Amsterdam is on the cards. Fucking yes. I don't know what Dekmantel Festival is, but it sounds good. You behave yourself, Echo Thump. Have a good time. But don't have too much a good time, if you know what I mean. I need to go back to Amsterdam, man. I'd quite like to go to Amsterdam alone for a month. Or, well, maybe Rotterdam. But anyway. But I'm feeling shite. Rye3D says, isn't that what they say you're meant to do if you're being attacked by a dog because it stuns them? Up arse. Grab their paws if they've got any. Wee sharp tug. Or a big stick. Say a big stick. Like, if a dog's clamped on to something, a stick in there, and then you can use that as leverage. Ideally, you don't want to ever be in that position though. Prevention is the best thing. If you're responsible for a dog that has got issues, don't ever let them get into a scenario where it could cause anybody any bother. Anyway, Fred's not like that. Fred's sound. Oh, thank you very much for the bits. I can't give a duck. I appreciate that. Thanks for the bits. Maximum respect once again, Sean Hancock Photo Film, Thomas Gregg, Surrey Hunter and Lewis. I appreciate it, thanks. So Balba says it's so rough having an unwell dog, it's unthinkable stuff. Aye. I mean, my previous dog, Max, right, he was a wee Yorkshire Terrier, and he eventually got stomach cancer, right? We're going to be talking about dead dogs this stream, right? So just strap in. And you just like... I delayed taking him for his final car journey for ages, right? Just for ages, because he was still kicking about and he was still into it. But I had to have a nappy on him, like 24/7. We had to get baby's nappies and put it on him because everything was all just, he couldn't help it. But other than that, he was doing good. But I forget, like waking up in the middle of the night with bare feet and standing up and your foot goes into a puddle of like cancer diarrhea, not regular diarrhea, cancer diarrhea, cancer dog diarrhea at that. And it finally hit me when he was just standing in the hallway and I'm talking away to him and he's being cool and he's just sort of staring at something. So I'm like, what's he looking at? So I step in front of him to like figure out what he's looking at, and only then do I realise, like, he responds to me when I step in front of him, but he wasn't responding to me. So I thought he was listening to me all this time. Basically, the scenario ended up with me realising that he was deaf. He just became deaf in the space of about 2 days. So if I was behind him chatting to me, he didn't even know I was there. But then when I stood in front of him, he was like, oh, hey man, how you doing? And he's wagging his tail, like as if I just came from nowhere. But I'd been chatting to him for a good amount of time. So when his ears went, I'm talking about my previous dog, I'm talking about Max, who died like, 15 years ago now? We've got photos of Max kicking about. I think I've showed you Max, he was a good boy. But when that happened, I'm like, right, like, this isn't kind or responsible of me to keep this going. But he was still very much not showing any physical pain or whatever. But I was just like, right. But it wasn't easy, man. It was not easy. Sean Hancock says, how did the PS1 go? PS1's doing great. I've no really worked on it since. PS1's wonderful. Ordered a vape that arrived today. Supposed to come with 3 free e-liquids that nobody bloody sent them. So I'm sitting with a fancy new vape and no liquid Stevia. That's brutal. The 3 free e-liquids might come in a different package. You don't know. Maybe the vape warehouse is a different warehouse for the e-liquid warehouse. You might get that in any minute. I found a vape as well. I'm not a vapist. A vapor. Not a vapor. But I found this. Basically, we needed this as a prop for Scroobius Pip's film, and then the film ended up getting delayed, and the delay really set me back. It made me kind of depressed for months, and so it's still getting made, just not this year. And so I was sitting surrounded with all these props for the film, and a lot of them were food. A lot of them were like biscuits and stuff for a wee picnic, and I was that depressed that it was like one of the Japanese horror films where somebody deals with grief via eating the body of the deceased, right? I just started eating the film. So I was like hoovering all these biscuits, man. There was like wee pot noodles and stuff, just eating it all, man. Because none of it, like the sell-by date wouldn't have stretched to next year. And same with this. So it got me back vaping. Although this is the very, very end of it. And I'm not going to get a new one since. But the new Twitch vape meta. You'll never see me do that on stream. I don't like vaping. Don't like smoking. Stopped smoking ages ago. But it was right there. And I used it as some sort of psychological thing. But don't get any vaping, young people. It's badness. Hello, Real Gonzo, welcome in, how you doing? Have we scanned this letter to cheer yourself up? I was in tears every day. Oh, cool. Aye, maybe we need cheered up. Maybe we need, like, eye bleach. Hold on. Oh, did he... Let's not look at that. Is that Snotter? Right. But we have a wee look at this. Live restricted for some audiences. Your TikTok live contains themes that some find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason: alcohol, tobacco and drugs. So TikTok have immediately spotted that I just smoked a vape. And as quick as that, they're like, get this guy off, get this guy off. That's mad, innit? So that's today's TikTok stream fucked. That's mad, innit? Restriction, big red thing on it. That's mad. That's like pure thought police stuff. Anyway, here's a wee boy sneezing with Snotter. 2 seconds. Aye, that was a wee very quick slap on the wrist for TikTok there. I think Schofield completely ruined the vaping image. Do you know, you might be right beneath the headphones. I think that was the point where it became very uncool to vape, innit? Interesting, I think you're right. I think Philip Schofield did just ruin vaping for everybody. 0 people watching. Let's see if even 1 person starts watching on TikTok again. As soon as I did the vape, is there a way for me to like... Can I appeal it? I don't want to appeal it if I'm guilty. You're live. I want to like take the slap on the wrist. But the graph has just plummeted to 0 now. That's interesting. Very aware that I'm on Twitch and all of that. But very, very strange. I'm on Twitch talking about a different platform, but a big part of my my thing is like being here and talking about how to make content and all that sort of stuff. So just be warned, don't be vaping on your TikToks. Anyway, SSRI says, good news, set up the camera trap in our garden and it turns out we have a little hedgehog visiting at night. That's amazing. That's brilliant. My goodness me. A few days ago there was a video of birds on iBleach Reddit. I'm still thriving off it. We'll watch a wee bit of iBleach then. Got a bubble in my throat. iBleach subreddit. reddit.com/iBleach. First result. A Georgian woman sweetly comforting and lovingly reassuring her worried dog, telling her in a calm voice it's okay. Maybe we don't want to do iBleach. I'll just close that down. I don't want to look at that shit just now. Make a joke about... No, I can't make a joke about that cartoon character Bowdy on that platform. Otherwise my phone will just explode. It'll send an overvoltage to my phone battery and it'll explode. So can I do that? Did you know about that? Twitch chat, if you make a joke about that cartoon character that Bowdy mentioned, because there's a political person who doesn't want to be associated with that, because the political person in a faraway country, they mock him by mentioning that cartoon character there. And if you mention, or if you've got a logo or anything with that cartoon character on it on a certain platform, good night. And you don't even know, man. You don't even know unless you do know. You know? But anyway,